Good morning, BookTube, YouTube. This is Johnny. Thought I'd make a video. It is here in Holland, Michigan. It is September the 8th, 2025. It is 10:07 in the morning. Typical early autumn morning, cold, partly cloudy and sunny, and I am waking up to another day in the last days of the American Empire. Writing in my paper diary, I'm on page 738, drinking coffee. It's like 10:07 in the morning here on September the 8th, 2025. I mentioned a couple of weeks ago that we got a text from a lady here in town. A couple of years ago, her husband passed away, and his name was Steve. He was a church organist and really into music primarily, but he also read and he had books. And she contacted us because we have been in contact with her since the passing away of her husband. And she offered some of his books. And we went down there. My wife has made friends with her, and we went down there, and she was giving away the books. She was going to donate them to the library used bookstore, the Book Nook. But she said before she was going to do that, she said, if you want anything, you can have them. And so, as you all know, I took about 8 bags of books, and I took one thing, since I had read Steve's blog for years, I knew certain books he had, and one thing he had that I wanted, and I wasn't sure if I was able to get it, but I thought I would show it to you in this video. And I had 3 abridgments of this work. There's the Golden Bough by Roots and Religion of Folklore by James G. Frazer. I have 2 other copies, abridgments downstairs, but this is the one I keep upstairs. And this is an abridgment from Sir James George Frazer, lived from 1854 and he died in 1941. Was a Scottish anthropologist with a particular interest in the study of myth and religion. His early research into development of religion as humanity progressed from primitive to civilized social structures ripened into a set of theories about the historical evolution of ancient cults, rites, rituals, and religious beliefs. The Golden Bough is Frazer's greatest and best known work, a repository of his mature theories. In it, Frazer takes us in his starting point an investigation into the succession rituals of the priest king of Diana's Grove, a sacred wood in ancient Italy. The rite involved the ancient custom of allowing a runaway slave to fight the king and perhaps take his title if he could first pull down a bough from a special golden tree. Frazer saw a link between this story and Virgil's epic poem Aldida, I can't pronounce the word, and wherein possession of a golden bough allows the hero Adonis to enter into the underworld. Much of Frazer's book derives from this exploration of ancient tree worship or of the attempt of early peoples to control nature and of the ritual killing of divine kings. In the Golden Bough, Frazer explores a multitude of myths and folk tales that range across cultures and centuries, and he points to the striking similarities among them. So this is an abridgment, and I knew that there was a 12-volume set, and I knew that Steve had it because he had mentioned it over the years in his blog. So that's what I was looking for when I went over to Steve's house, his widow's house, Eileen, who's a retired librarian, and I saw it. but it only had, it didn't have, the complete set wasn't there. And so, but I took it because it's better than having an incomplete set than none at all. And so this is I don't know the order of them. I can't remember the order, but I'll just show them to you. This is from the 1920 Macmillan set, and the Golden Bough, A Study of Magic and Religion, 3rd edition. And this is part 3, The Dying King. I don't know, there are separate treatises, and this is The Dying King, Frazer, Macmillan. And then you have Taboo and the Perils of the Soul. And this is, this is a separate volume. Then you have Adonis, Iris, and Aureus. And this is volume 1, part 4, volume 1. And then you have another, and these are both in the same. So you have volume 2. And then you have Spirits of the Corn and of the Wild, and that's a 2-volume one, 2. And then you have the Scapegoat, and the Golden Bough. These are very quite old, but they're not marked up. They're in perfect condition, even though they're very old, 1920. And then you have Balder and the Beautiful volumes. This is volume 2. And then you have this one is the most beat up one, is the last volume, Bibliography and General Index. So the complete set wasn't here. So I thought, well, okay. But I knew that she had been donating books to the Book Nook. So I would go down there. I went down there after a week later, and I was at the Book Nook, and I was looking for other books that she had donated from Steve's library. And I was talking to the lady who runs the bookstore, and her name is Mary. And she said I could go in the back room and look around. And I went in the back room, and I found volumes 1 and 2 of the Golden Bough. So obviously, when Eileen donated books to the Book Nook, she donated, he must have separated the first 2 volumes, because this set was upstairs in the upstairs library, and these must have been downstairs. And so I found at the Book Nook volumes 1 and 2 of the Golden Bough. And this obviously is from a different set, but it's The Magic Art and the Evolution of Kings, volume 1, and then you have volume 2 of the Magic Art and Evolution of Kings, volume 2. So then, providentially, now I have the whole set of the Golden Bough. And the Golden Bough influenced, like T.S. Eliot and Yeats, and it's a very famous work, but it's been known mostly in the abridgment. And so I was kind of pleased to get out of Steve's library the complete Golden Bough. It's just something I've always wanted, even though I don't know much about it, except that it's referred to as a classic. I collect books on, shamanism and witchcraft and mythology. I collect books on ancient religions. Before I became a Christian, I was into comparative religion and all these different subjects. And so I knew about the Golden Bough, but I never seen a complete set available. So I was kind of pleased. And I knew that Steve had it, so that's one of the things I really wanted when I went to Steve's, who had passed away a couple of years ago, in his library. So now I have the complete Golden Bough, all 12 volumes of the 1920 Macmillan set. So I thought I'd show you that. This is from Steve's library, who passed away a couple of years ago. And yeah, he was, like I said, mainly a musician, organist. He played piano, he composed music, he loved music. But he also read poetry, and he read a lot of the books he had in his library, as I mentioned, were my same kind of literary taste, maybe because we were around the same age and came out of the same kind of literary culture. So I just thought I'd show that to you. So yeah, this is a Monday, and I just plan to get through the day, read and write, and so that's it. So I thought I'd just share about the Golden Bough with you as part of what I got out of Steve's library that his wife graciously allowed me to go through his library and take books that really I would really want for myself. So I was really thankful that she was so generous and so giving. Yeah, Steve was a great guy. I kind of miss him. I'm sure his wife and his children miss him, his friends, people from his church. So I hope you have a good reading week. I do pray that you're all doing well. And until next time, bye.